Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to another episode of the Collaboration Culture Podcast. I am your host, Kimberly Wimborne of Kimberly Wimborne LLC, and of course, Coffee and Collaborations. So, what I want to do is to give you all some time to share. For those who are watching the replay, then I would love for you to hashtag replay and let us know that you came by and joined us for the podcast this evening. We have a special guest, another amazing guest to join us this evening, who I'm truly excited about. A return guest, actually. He's been here before, but it's been a while. We did a series years ago, I want to say 2019, on mindset as we were ending the year. And I had him as a guest at that time for the first time. And I'm so excited to have him back because as a result of that mindset, he's achieved so much more. And we've been doing this series, The Voice of Leadership. And so in this series, we have invited several leaders in various aspects and had amazing, great conversation with those leaders. And so tonight is no different. So I want to introduce you to this young man by reading a little bit of his bio, and then I'll share my personal feelings. He's probably back there like, don't do that. About him. Marcel Anderson is a native of Spartanburg, South Carolina, currently living here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Yes, Raleigh in the house. Raised in a powerhouse of musicians, Marcel was one of four boys in his family to sing in church. Marcel started out singing in church at the age of 8 and thereafter started singing around town with his group called the Anderson Twins. He was born in a house of two sets. Yes, two sets of twin boys. And Marcel became the lead singer of the group. What about that? Sharing the experience with his twin brother, national recording artist, saxophonist Marcus Anderson, Marcel has been featured on several of his CDs as a vocalist, several of Marcus's. Marcel has 3 studio albums and currently working on his 4th, which is set to be released next year in 2024. He recently was featured on 2023 Dave Koz cruise as a new emerging artist and sung alongside some of the greatest jazz artists in the world. Marcel Anderson has shared the stage with his twin brother, as we mentioned before, saxophonist Marcus Anderson. He's also shared the stage with Kenny Lattimore, Phil Denny, and Adam Hawley, Jonathan Butler, Chris Walker, and that's just to name a few. Marcel brings soul, R&B, jazz, and inspirational sounds that puts listeners in another musical atmosphere. Marcel will capture his audience with soulful sounds and songs from Bob Caldwell, Anthony Hamilton, John Legend, Stevie Wonder, Bill Withers, Frankie Beverly and Mays, and many more soul singers. And he just released his new single. So if you've been watching, you know that I've been sharing all about this new single every week since its release a few weeks ago. And it's called Better Days, featuring Marcus Anderson and Rebecca Jade. His new single is a song that shares a story of love, peace, and happiness within a relationship. So, to learn more about Marcel, we'll be sharing his website and information to stay in touch and connected with him. And from my understanding, that single is climbing the jazz chart. So, let's find out a little bit more by bringing on our amazing guest, Marcel Anderson. Good evening,
Kimberly,
Marcel.
good evening, Kimberly. How are you doing?
I'm excellent. How are you, sir?
I'm doing wonderful. I want to say first, thank you for having me on this evening. Such a pleasure to be on tonight with you.
Thank you for saying yes. Um, one of the things that I wanted to share personally about Marcel is that he has an amazing story. And one of the things that attracted me to him as a human is that story, that resilience, how he continues to move forward. He's very motivating and encouraging, and he does a lot behind the scenes that people don't know about. And so I just want to shout him out really quickly for the work that he does that goes unnoticed because he has a heart of pure gold, even though, he's gets on my nerves here and there. Wonderful friend. No, I'm joking. He doesn't. All right. So let's talk to Marcel. Marcel, thank you for joining us once again. For those of you who have just joined, we have Marcel Anderson. What I want you to do before I move any further, and I want to say it throughout the whole entire broadcast, go to his website, which I'm going to put across the screen in just a second, and check some things out. Go to YouTube and search Marcel Anderson, right? Go to Amazon and download Better Days, that single, or wherever you want to go to download it. And he'll share some other options for that. But make sure that you do not leave this broadcast without getting his information, downloading some music, maybe go and buy an album. Okay. So, Marcel, anything else you want to add before we get rolling?
Yes, as you stated, you can go to my website, marcelanderson.com, and download not only the new single, Better Days, but all of the other merchandise and product that I have on my website as well. So, love to have your support.
Awesome. Okay. So let's dive right in. You ready?
Let's go.
Let's go. Okay. So I have sent Marcel sort of some prompts. However, I love organic
Mm.
conversation, and he agreed to having organic conversation. So today we're going to have some conversation around what inspired him to write this song, because in his bio it talks about that it was inspired by love and relationship. And so can we find out a little bit more as to what inspired you to write Better Days? And I know that this is a new genre for you, sort of, as far as publishing something jazz. So tell us a little bit about that transition and the creation of the song.
Yeah, this is not an unfamiliar industry, but again, familiar in a way that I'm being introduced as a solo artist to share this music of more of a soul, more of a neo soul inspiration jazz vibe. Being influenced by my twin brother, many who may know or may not know who he is, Marcus Anderson, national recording saxophonist, who actually feature on this song along with Rebecca Jade, has been very influential in my musical journey, but also in this jazz industry. But the song simply derives from me reflecting on my relationships, having discussion and conversation with others about their relationship and what it means to have better days with someone that you love, someone that you're sacrificing life with, in the midst of challenges, in the midst of ups and downs, turnarounds. How do you continue to keep better days in your sight? How do you continue to love someone in spite of, no matter what comes our way? We're still going to be together always. So, with the many challenges that I've experienced in my life, uh, individually and also in my past relationships.
Mm.
I've experienced many challenges that hindered me from having better days in a relationship, and it's not just result to intimate relationship, but it's also can result to any type of relationship, friendships, family relationships in terms of what it means to develop better days in that relationship. So this song encompasses all of that completely. So definitely excited to dive more into the song and also the album, which will come out a little bit later. But again, that's a little bit about the song.
Okay. And I think all of us can relate to that journey in love, whether it's
Hmm.
first
Hmm.
love or whatever it is, but
Hmm.
having good days and bad days and challenges and
Hmm.
all of that. And one of the things I mentioned about you before is, having a mindset that help you to go through some of the challenges in your life, even in your relationships, to move forward. And if we could talk about that really quickly, from a leadership perspective, because we're talking about the voice of leadership, and you just so happen to be a musician who uses your voice in a
Hmm.
different way than some of us, some others who cannot sing, or who do not
Hmm.
who do not sit and write songs that share their voice. So, what is it that you feel you're capable and able to do? To use your platform to be able to speak for or against certain things that really matter to you, such as relationships.
Yeah, I think I'm very fortunate
Mm-hmm.
to be able to use my voice not only as a singer,
Mm-hmm.
but also and songwriter, but also as an advocate for many social uh, issues
Mm-hmm.
that I believe in, and being able to advocate and become a change agent, and be able to alarm the sound of my voice and send out a signal that will be able to send out a positive message. I believe the music that I developed, that God has allowed me to develop, is positive in its own way. It penetrates to the heart of men and women to help them to think about who they are.
Mm-hmm.
So my voice is about helping people to identify and really dive into who they are, not only in this earth, but I believe spiritually in God. And it gives me the opportunity to search who am I in this writing journey as I continue to write on different subjects and topics and advocate on various social issues in this world. One being relationship, having gone through a traumatic experience and finding myself not trusting people in different relationships, and how do I navigate through not only trusting people but trusting myself to trust others and know that no one is going to continue to do harm
Mm-hmm.
to me, and know that people out there to support you in a positive way. So,
Yeah.
with that being said, just being able to navigate through the challenges that life bring me, and finding a way to uh, voice my message in a positive way. And I realize that through my pain and through
Mm-hmm.
my challenges have produced a stronger voice. I know
Mm-hmm.
that sometimes may sound different for most people. Those who may go through challenges may become isolated, may
True.
go into the dark ages. But for me personally, and this is over time that this has developed. This didn't happen like
Mm-hmm.
overnight. But through my pain and the challenges that I've experienced, I was able to find a deeper level of inspiration to express how I feel.
Mm. Okay. A deeper level of inspiration.
Mhm.
What was that process like? Like, what does that entail?
Being quiet,
Mm-hmm.
to hear the sounds of God, to
Mm-hmm.
hear His voice to determine, you know, my voice in situations and circumstances, where it will save my life, right?
Mm.
What I mean by that is that I won't speak um, out of turn, or just feel like always have a response to situations and circumstances, and even to God. Going back to God, feel like I need to always feel like I have a response to God, and
Mhm.
knowing that whatever my heart feels, I can share it to Him, whether it's bad or it's indifferent, whatever it is, good. I
Mhm.
can share it to God. I can come to Him,
Mhm.
heavy laid, with a heavy heart,
Mhm.
burden, and God will hear me. Whether He responds right away or not, I know that His voice is still, and it will keep me through the things that I've been through. So
Mhm.
just knowing how to sit quiet in situations and circumstances that doesn't cause me to use my voice. So again, just because I have a voice doesn't mean that I have to open up my mouth to
Mhm.
speak. So oftentimes it's all of us using our other senses and is listening before speaking. My God, listening before speaking to use my voice. I felt that thing.
You are
But
great.
I say it that way because when you think back to your life and the things you've been through, there's
Yes.
moments where you want to speak,
Mhm.
and not to get spiritual. God will tell you just to listen, right?
Yeah. There's
Because it
power
says
in silence.
it's power in silence, and
Yeah.
just because you're loud doesn't mean that people are listening to you, right? Just because
Yeah.
you have a loud voice doesn't mean
Right.
that you're being heard. It's because you're loud doesn't mean you're right. You're using your voice in a
Mhm.
loud space. It's
Mhm.
always again essential just to be able to reflect and really learn who you are and what your voice is. So when you do speak, you're speaking, the important words and messages that people will receive.
Mhm. So,
Yeah.
I mean, okay, you talked about leadership, you talked about being quiet in in the silence, God speaking or being able to hear from God, and you know how that's leading you,
Hmm.
and also providing you with a place of peace and stillness so you could cope, move forward, and overcome some of the challenges. So as a person who recognizes that it is important to use your voice in silence and how powerful that is, you recognize there is a great deal going on all around us, both nationally and globally, definitely locally. How can leaders like yourself penetrate and make an impact through the noise? How can you make an impact through the noise? Is it through music, or what is your method of making an impact through the noise? And do you even feel responsible to do that?
Yeah, I do believe there's a call in my life, and a responsibility to be able to share truth to power.
Mhm.
Right? I believe our voice can be powerful, and
Mhm.
how we use it and where we use it. When we're called to use it in different environments and different atmospheres, and making sure that we are spending time going back to the quiet and spending time with ourselves to be able to know, um, what our voice sound like, and knowing that when we in rooms of other leaders, that our voice becomes silent because their voice need to be heard. That's because we have to recognize, in different environments and atmospheres, that
Yeah.
we're not always called to speak when
Mhm.
we in certain environments, in certain atmospheres. So I believe that the noise that you're speaking to, is about just being silent, so we can hear what
Mhm.
that noise sounds like. I actually wrote a song on my last album. It was called "The Silent War,"
Mhm.
silent war, and I
Mhm.
talked about just how different wars are taking place internally.
Mhm.
Oftentimes, we wrestle with ourselves when it comes to different issues and challenges in life. And when we deal with our silent wars, we can deal with the loud wars, which will come out
Mm.
from the silent issues that we deal with in life. So,
Mhm.
the different noises can again be resolved through us just being knowing our place in this
Mhm.
life, and then
Mhm.
knowing that our responsibility as leaders doesn't always cause us to have to speak in different
Mhm.
environments.
Yeah, so what I hear from you, among, saying once again about being still, is that you can also gain wisdom in that silence from taking strength or leaning on the strength of others who have a voice that you can mentor you or guide you or
Hmm.
support you. So it's not always necessary to speak and
Hmm.
when, especially when you're going through. But what is important is to be able to be a follower as well as a leader, in certain moments where it is a lot of noise. Somebody else may
Hmm.
have a another voice that needs to step up to penetrate through that. But when it's necessary, you will step up and penetrate through the noise. And that leads me to, you mentioned your album and the song
Hmm.
about war. Like, what are some of the other inspirations, when you felt like, I need to speak out about this, that you wrote a song about it in order to be a voice for a social justice issue or love or God or whatever that is? What's a couple of the songs that really stand out? And if you recall, which I'm sure you do, what album, one, two, or three is these particular songs on, so that we
Uh,
can be sure to make sure, to share that.
this one particularly with Silent War is my previous album, my last album, which is called
Mm-hmm.
Road to Recovery.
Mm-hmm.
My first album was called Still Living, so it was like a prerequisite
Mm-hmm.
to album two. So Still Living, after you have survived something catastrophic,
Mm-hmm.
um, and people look at you and like, man, you're good. But oftentimes people don't understand that there's a recovery process to
Yeah,
surviving something catastrophe. So all the
absolutely.
songs that I've written embody entails just me being able to overcome different challenges and obstacles in life. I studied a psycho analyst therapist by the name of Eric Erickson, who talked about different challenges that you will face in life
Mm-hmm.
will not be the end of the day for you. But he said that it can be a turning point for your life. So when you experience something, it doesn't have to be the end for you, but it can be a turning point for you. And he said how you respond to your situations can either dictate or determine your final destination. What do I mean by that? It means that how we respond to our situations can determine and dictate what we are. So as I began to reflect on the things that I've been through in life, and I began to write songs based off what I went through, I realized that I had to again get still, and I had to make sure I respond a certain way in order to get a certain response
Yeah.
from God, myself, and then the other people. They were last, right? God was first, then it
Mm-hmm.
set with me, and then the people. So with that being said, all the songs that I wrote, I believe they were inspired by God. I was inspired by conversations of other people
Mm-hmm.
that I've connected with and talked to, such as "This Is My Prayer,"
Mm-hmm.
different things that I prayed about. I wrote about it.
Mm-hmm.
Security in God. Let's get started. Getting started with your purpose before it's too late. So those are just some of the highlighted songs that I wrote that inspired me just to continue to keep moving forward. And I believe that music saved my life after going through something traumatic. Yep.
Yep. Yeah, you mentioned one of my one of my favorite theorists there, Eric Erickson,
Hmm.
who's an expert in psychosocial
Hmm.
development. I
Hmm.
actually did a paper on him recently,
Oh wow.
along with Piaget and all those guys. Anyway,
PJ. Okay.
yeah, all those guys. So, Still Living album, the single "Flying Higher" blessed me through a difficult time, says
Uh-huh.
Andrea McCullough.
Hmm.
uh and that's what I love about music. It's transcendent. Somebody can be going through something, and it can
Hmm.
help to bring them peace, or it can help
Hmm.
to bring them comfort, or understand they're not alone in a situation. And so I love that. Thank you for saying that. I don't know if
Hmm.
it's Andrea or Andrea,
Hmm.
but thank you for saying that. And then Will says, yep, nice album. Yeah, one of I loved the first time I ever heard one of your albums. I loved it. I remember playing it in my car on repeat.
Wow.
Absolutely loved it. And so you do have that voice that really does impact lives. And so what I want to ask you about that is that I know that you mentioned inspirational music, you mentioned
Mm-hmm.
jazz, you mentioned R&B,
Mm-hmm.
and you so you have an array of music that you sing.
Mm-hmm.
Being somebody who was raised in the church
Mm-hmm.
and now singing several different genres, what has been the response from your family and from the and from those who are closest to you? I mean, I've been to several of your shows, and
Mm-hmm.
you'll go to worship
Mm-hmm.
in the middle of "Let It Rain" or something by Carl Thomas. So
Mm-hmm.
tell me, like, what is that? What is that process for you, or is it that you're so captivated by the music that it's more of a spiritual thing for you, or share with us?
Yeah, again, just sitting with God and being sensitive to the room,
Mm-hmm.
being sensitive sometimes to the people that come visit me. I may know them, I may not know them,
Mm-hmm.
and I may be led just to share an inspirational song in a secular setting.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The gospel says, "Go out, right, and share the gospel, the good news." So,
Mm-hmm.
uh, doing things unconventional where I can, be in a club um, where sometimes everybody may not agree that you should be in that space to be able to share the gospel, the good news.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I've learned to grow in this space. It hasn't
Yeah.
always been easy. I
Mm-hmm.
haven't always been accepted as it relates to this path that I'm journeying on. I don't know all of the answers, but I know that I need to respond to the present and what's happening now. So tomorrow, we'll be able to have its place and know its place. So I respond according to that moment. So in those moments, you can feel it. It's just a feeling. It's a feeling. It's emotion. I mean, it's a connection that you have not only with the music, the instruments, but also the people give off a good vibe. People may say, "Man, oh, man, you better sing, boy," or "Oh, hallelujah." They may say "Hallelujah" in a jazz club, man. I feel that. Or they may close their eyes and they may be moving. They may be drinking, but I still go to a place where I feel like they can connect.
Yeah.
They may lament, they may cry,
Mm-hmm.
after hearing a song. They may be going through something.
Mm-hmm.
I oftentimes get the audience to talk back to me. I'll ask them a question, and they'll respond to me. I like to interact with them, and it gives me an opportunity to kind of see where they are.
Yeah.
And sometimes I invite people on the stage and have a conversation with them, and just navigate, through an experience that they may share with me on stage.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I write a song on stage based off of what someone's telling me. So it's so
Yeah.
many ways that I'm able to navigate
Mm-hmm.
through these experiences when I
Yeah.
sing. So
Okay. Well,
yeah.
that goes to my next thought. You're a trailblazer. You're blazing a trail for somebody, like you said, inspiring one person is
Hmm.
blazing a trail, and you do things unconventionally sometimes, like you just said.
Hmm.
So being a trailblazer, going against the grain a little bit sometimes, what motivates you to continue? Like, what has motivated you? So, what in your past has motivated you to move forward? You mentioned God. What other things have motivated you? And then what continues to motivate you?
Yeah, losing my brother almost 10 years ago to a car accident,
Mm.
and recognizing that life is but a vapor. You can
Yeah.
be here one day and gone the next,
Very true.
and recognizing, I would say we were close in so many ways, and to have that removed from me in the earth, but still
Mm-hmm.
connected to him in the spirit.
Mm.
I knew I had to continue his legacy in some shape, form, or fashion. So I wrote a song about him, for him, called Table Talk. He used to have a controversial organization called Table Talk, and I said, "Well, let me write this song
Mm-hmm.
called Table Talk because I wanted to have another conversation with him. If you ever lost someone before their time, or I felt like his time, was stolen
Mm-hmm.
from him on the earth, I wanted to have another conversation with him, and I was calling God, calling heaven, trying to get in contact with him, leaving messages, but no one answered and responded to my messages. But I wanted to have at least one more table talk conversation. If you could have one more table talk conversation with that person that you lost, what would that conversation be, right?
Yeah.
And I asked myself, what is it one thing I wanted to say to him before he left, and that touched me, to think about the time that he spent on Earth. So I
Mm,
wanted him to continue to live with me. I didn't want it to be sad all the time. So I wanted to remember him in a positive way, in a spiritual way. So I not only wrote a song about him, I dedicated certain chapters of my book as an author, different songs, different albums, anything that I do, always dedicated to my brother who I lost over 10 years
mm.
ago. So again, that's just been my inspiration.
Okay, and that continues to motivate you even today.
Yeah, I mean, today it still motivates me and lets me know that until God calls me home, I still have work to do. I want to die empty. Miles Monroe say, "Die empty." He said one
Mhm,
of the richest places in the world is the graveyard. So many people who leave this earth carrying things, dreams, and gifts and visions inside of them. So it is my goal, it's my ultimate obligation, is to pull out everything that I can in this earth. There's a scripture that reminds me that whatever your hand finally get to do, do it with all of your might.
mhm,
Because in Sheol, I'm paraphrasing, in Sheol, the dark place where we go, we have none. We have no might. We have no movement. We have no thoughts. So the fact that I can talk
mhm,
to you now, I can look at you at a screen through the screen. I have more work to do. That means God has given me the ability to speak, give me the ability to talk and to share my truth with someone else. So that motivates me just to know that my brother is here in spirit, and I have to carry his legacy on. But also, just again, just other people who respond to my music and respond to me about how it blesses them. As Miss Andrea McCullough, she
mhm,
just shared "Flying High"
mm,
and wrote that song. On my first album, is "Flying High," places that I've never been before, where it talks about I'm flying high, flying to
mhm.
another place that I've never been before. And I'm saying flying deeper within, right? Trying flying deeper within and knowing that no matter what I'm going through, I can continue to keep flying high. So,
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Lisa says, wow, so powerful, Lisa Green. And it's so very true, which is why I stated that you are a trailblazer, but also an inspiration, to
mhm,
many, so many. And I know sometimes it's hard to think about that, right? Because we've been taught to
mhm,
stay humble, but that is not a egotistical place to recognize and realize that you are serving God really
mhm,
by serving
mhm,
others, and
mhm.
that's what you're doing. And I wanted to highlight that. So just for a second, if we could just pause because I want to be sure to see if I can pull up the song Better Days. And in the midst of that, I also want to share that this segment is brought to us by Movement Mortgage. April Russell, who is a loan officer with Movement Mortgage. We just had an event called Summer Collaboration Brunch, and she was our sponsor. And so we want to highlight her. If anybody's looking for a reputable integritus mortgage lender, then you want to reach out to April Home with April Russell loan officer, and make sure to mention that you heard about her from the Collaboration Culture podcast. All right. So I want to share because we need to see where we can get this album, right? Where we can find out more about this download, this new single, right? So I am going to bring that up. And then, Marcel, if you can walk us through, guide us through, you're the expert here. So guide the people through how to download or what to do.
Yeah, one, you can go to my website, marcelanderson.com. You can go to Tidal. You can go to Amazon. You can go to Apple Music. All those are social media platforms and outlets, Spotify as well, but specifically iTunes. And again, the shameless plug, for the first time ever on the jazz charts, I was able to chart number 30 top 100 new jazz singles in the first week. So I'm definitely excited about that, and it's still moving. It's still moving. So for the very first
Congratulations.
time, thank you. So when it comes out on radio in October, please request it to your radio stations. Even do it now. Let's go ahead and press them. Let them know that it's on their way.
Congratulations. Oh my goodness. So,
Thank you.
for those who are watching and you want to go ahead, I'm pushing the wrong button. You want to go ahead and get that, then you could go. Let me move some of this stuff out of the way so you can see, okay? Move some of this stuff out of the way so you can see. I'm trying to show your banner going across your ticker so people can get in contact, but they need to see where to get this single by Marcel. He said it. Some people are visual, so now you
Mhm.
see it. I went and got mine from Amazon, y'all. So I went to Amazon Music and downloaded, but as you see, it's other places. But let's pull that back up. You can go and check out his website, which is scrolling across the screen as well.
Kimberly,
Yeah,
what did you think about the song "Better Days" when you listen to it? If you listen to it,
I
did you
did.
listen to it? Oh, okay. What you think about the song "Better
I
Days"?
listened to it. Brenda Breeze says, "So awesome." Oh, hey, Miss
Yeah,
Brenda.
Brenda.
Yes.
That's my family right there.
And Lisa said, humbling yourself will allow God to use you and allow you to walk in your purpose and passion with for his glory. Congratulations. We are called to be a light. Matthew 5:16 says to let our light so shine
Hmm.
before men so that they can see our good works, but glorify our Father who is in heaven. And you
Heaven.
talked
Hmm.
about, being spiritual, loving the Lord and all that. So the work that you do
Hmm.
is, like Lisa said, glorifying God. So the
Hmm.
I love the single. I love it. I've been sharing it every week since it's come out. Marcel, I've been sharing it on the show. I love how smooth it is. I
Hmm.
love the nuances. I love collaboration. Having a woman, a man. The
Hmm.
balance there.
Hmm.
And so, how do you choose when you have someone who you invite to join you on a song? How did you
That's
choose?
yeah, that's a good question because it hasn't always been that way. I haven't always been um, accepting to invite others
Mm.
on my albums.
Mhm.
I knew within my own family that there would be collaboration, but anyone outside of my family to want to collaborate, that was like almost like a no to me because I was so stuck in this
Mm.
silo. I was isolated from just feeling like, oh, I'm gonna write all my songs. I'm gonna
Mhm.
have my producers that I select, producing this music, not being
Yeah.
open to any suggestions. What was my turning point? What changed me? One of my producers, who actually produced this particular song, produced a record on my last album, um, named Demetrius Everett.
Mhm.
He said, hey, I'm gonna sing you something, man. Let me know what you think. So he had added another female vocalist on one of my tracks that he produced. And he said he didn't want to tell me because he knew I would say no.
Mhm.
So he had to get them to sing it and then let me respond. And I said, okay. I started listening to the songs and okay, I like it.
Mhm. Mhm.
Because he knew I was going to say no automatically. But that was an introduction to me being open
Mhm.
to new collaborations, and from there,
Mm.
I've been open to collaboration to say it's not all about me, right?
Mhm.
This can be a shared experience. It can be a shared vision. Kuntz and Kozner talk about leadership challenges, talk about a shared vision. It's the
Mhm.
five exemplary leadership challenges. He talked about a shared vision. So I knew that I can share this vision with someone and it'll still be okay. It doesn't take away from me. It
Mhm.
adds to me.
Yeah.
So again, with this new single, with Better Days, I knew Rebecca from the Dave Koz cruise.
Mhm.
Hearing her sing and just her melodic voice and a soulful sound, I knew that I wanted to add her on this particular track, and she got it done right before this previous cruise that we went on, and of course my brother. It was like a no-brainer to add him as a feature on my first introduction to the jazz market. So again, with everyone added on this track, again the first track for the album which
Mm-hmm.
is going to be a love album that's coming out in February of 2024. We're excited about that. So
Okay.
definitely uh, knew that this song would embody, the voice, right? Go back to the voice of a couple, of a man, male and
Mm-hmm.
female, that
Mm-hmm.
that that it takes two.
Mm-hmm.
It takes two to work out a relationship. I know two becomes one, but it takes both of them to be able to navigate to make their days better. So I knew
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't do this by myself. So I don't
Yeah.
care what you say, you can't do it by yourself in a relationship. No matter
Mm-hmm.
what type of relationship you're in,
Yeah.
it takes two. And
Mm-hmm.
even your voice as a leader, you have to listen to those who follow you as well. They have a voice as it relates to leading the path down towards your destiny, your
Yeah.
destination. It takes
Okay.
others to be able to to voice your leadership
Mm-hmm.
presentation as well in life. So
Yeah. I love what you just said about collaboration, and you went into talking about love and relationships, and I know that this has been a journey as far as writing this album, putting everything together. It's been a labor
hmm
of love, and so it's exciting that it's coming out in February. Uh,
hmm
Tell us just a little bit about how you decided, though, to make this album about love, because I remember seeing
hmm
you like sharing various social media posts and different things like that that were like tips and advice and some wisdom that maybe you have found that spoke to you. So tell us about, how did you decide to make
hmm
this a love album?
Yeah, and just to correct myself, it's a trusted love relationship album.
Mhm.
Just going through many things after I experienced a traumatic episode in my life,
Mhm.
and personally struggling, trying to navigate through many relationships in my life, not just romantic relationships, but relationship with my family, relationships in the workplace, not being able to trust people, thinking people are out to get me, to be able to not only love other people, but loving myself and trusting people in every relationship that I developed. So it came through my own personal pains, my own personal fears, my own personal struggles, as I mentioned, things that I didn't think I could navigate through, um, and things that I had to deal with because I found myself struggling because I never dealt with those struggles or those issues. Because if you don't deal with it, it's going to deal with you. If you do not deal with it, it's going to deal with you. So, in that process, in that journey, I knew I had to face myself as I navigated through this thing called life.
All right, looks like we had some technical difficulty. Am I back? Let me go see. Let me go see. Let me go see. Marcel, are you there? Marcel, are you there? Marcel, are you there? Hello? Okay. So let me see if are you guys able to hear me? If you're in the comments and you're able to hear me, okay? Can you let me know? You're able to hear me, see me, okay? There was a bit of technical difficulty there. Let me see if I could test myself. Are you there? Let me see here. I'm not sure. Looks like we're still live. And I don't know if Marcel is here though. Hello. Well, let's see if we can get Marcel back. But he was when I had technical difficulty, he was just talking about the journey, challenges, various things. I think something happened with the internet. I don't know. Mine went out. Not sure what happened with his, but Marcel, are you there?
I'm still here. Can you hear me?
I can. Did your internet go out?
I don't know.
Still on the other one too.
I'm sorry.
You're still live on the other one too.
Okay.
Okay. So are you able to use that one or you need to use this one?
This one would be great.
Okay, awesome. So let me remove you from the other one so we won't have any sort of like bandwidth issues. All right. So thank you, Calandra. She says she can hear us okay. All right. So technical difficulties, it happens. I'm really not sure what took place. He was telling us some deep stuff, and next thing you know, it was like kick, boom, gone. So I'm gonna see if I can get the video back up. Let me see if that'll work. I was gonna play the video, Marcel, from YouTube, but you guys gotta go download that on Amazon. Let me
Please
see
go
if
down.
I can.
Please go down.
Yeah, I did. I downloaded it. It's not quite the same as having it yourself. Um, Let me see if I'll be able to see if we can. I think it's showing the whole screen, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Let me go to it and hit play. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been waiting. Sounds like me. For you to come around. All that you bring to me, I can never find one like you.
You can still hear it?
My life today and forever I'm here to stay. Stay in your special world. Live with you and no regret. There's never a place where you'll be. There's never a place where we're free. No matter what comes our way, you will always be here. What we have today, hey, Rebecca. No one else can come between us. We share a special love that can last for a lifetime. In this life
All right. So you guys got to go download that so you can get the rest. So
Yeah,
you can get the rest. All right. That'll change our bandwidth. Yeah, you got to go download that. That was amazing, right?
that sounds good.
Yeah. Of course you think so.
Sound like me.
That sounds like you. That was amazing. So, congratulations to you once again. The young lady came in real strong. She sounded amazing. And I see that Calandra was on here, and she's one of your featured artists here and there when you do live shows. And so, do you all have a lot of collaboration planned for your future as well? I love hearing you two together.
Yeah, actually, this week, my brother
Mm
is hosting his fifth annual coffee and jazz escape
hmm.
uh,
Mm hmm.
in Durham, North Carolina,
Mm hmm.
and it will be from Thursday to Saturday. He has over 10 phenomenal jazz artists that will be flying in from all over the world. And Rebecca is one of the featured artists this weekend. Yes, that worked out perfectly because, shh, don't tell nobody, we're going to do the single on Saturday. We're going to do the single featuring me, my brother, and her as a surprise on Saturday doing the show. So it's exciting. It's why she's in town.
Oh,
I sent her a message. I said, "Hey, please, can you sing the single?" She's like, "Yes, I got you." So the band is geared up, ready. We're gonna debut the song for the first time, all three of us together on one stage. So it's gonna be exciting. I mean, yeah, it's gonna be the first of many.
wow. How nice. So don't tell the secret, y'all.
Tell, don't tell nobody.
Oh, don't tell nobody. So you've been receiving a lot of support with the single and with the various things that you have going on. How does that feel, Marcel, to have the support of so many people locally that follow you from show to show and supported the single and all of that? Like, how does that feel when it comes to you talking about the challenges, your journey, and to be here today?
It feels amazing. It gives me inspiration. It keeps me going. It helps me to never give up. Like Brenda, who's her and her husband Will, who supports the work that I do. They keep me going,
Hmm.
and inspiring me to never to give up. And just know that you got people in your corner who truly believe in you, and when they see you just singing on the corner and singing on the side, and finally hitting main stage, and just saying it's your time. You definitely have to crawl before you walk. Put in the
Hmm.
work for years, and then finally arrive. I don't feel like I've arrived. There's still more work to do, but to get at this level and get to this point, to be among great artists as you have listed those names that I've been able to sing alongside. There's so many other artists that I'm waiting to sing alongside. Anthony Hamilton, John Legend, Stevie Wonder. The list can go
Hmm.
on and on in terms of some of my idols and individuals who I will sing with, whether it's in
Yes.
the room or whether it's somewhere close by. I will sing with them one day. It doesn't have to be on the big stage, but I know that one day I'll be with him on some platform.
Yes, I
Excited.
believe it. So I
Yeah.
put up your tour dates.
Oh yeah.
Gonna be 7/28 to 29. So this month, the 28th and the 29th, Durham, North Carolina. That's that jazz and coffee escape he was just talking about. Gonna be
Yeah.
all the way in Florida,
Mm-hmm.
Florida on August 24th.
For my brother Nathan Mitchell. Nathan
Yeah,
Mitchell.
Nathan
Yep.
Mitchell.
Yep.
Okay. And then in Atlanta
Yep.
on August 24th.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. In Cary at Bond Brothers on August 26th, I'll be there.
Oh, that's Fedoras. Soul music and Fedora.
Fedoras.
No
Yeah,
traditional Fedora hats.
Soul Food and Fedoras, which is a signature. Then he's going to be in Greenville, South Carolina at Rainer's Cafe and Bar September 8th. Also in September, going to be over at Spaghettini in California on the 17th. And then back here in Raleigh, North Carolina, we have an announcement coming. So save that date on October the 15th. Spartanburg, South Carolina, save that date, November 24th. But what you can do is follow Marcel Anderson.com to be able to get all of those dates, stay up to date on shows, and never miss a date. Okay.
More dates to be added. Several more dates to be added to this tour.
Yep.
Yeah.
I plan to add one in December. I gotta
Better
get
get
my
out. Better
gotta
get in line.
get my
Get in
paperwork
line.
over.
Get in line.
Whatever. Get my paperwork over. But anyway, any last words?
No, I just want to say thank you for all that you do for leaders, not only just in the Triangle area, but across the world, across the globe, allowing us to be able to share our voice on this platform and this different capacity and building capacity in terms of collaboration. So, and again, just thinking back when I thought I couldn't collaborate with someone, I realized the power of collaboration. You talk about that a lot. It's so powerful to collaborate, and I didn't realize that there's so much power in collaboration and the right collaborations. That is, I don't collaborate anybody, but again, the right collaboration,
Say it again.
the right relationships are very key in developing your brand, developing you as an artist, developing you as a leader. I'm still growing, I'm still learning. So for those who are out there who want to assist MA Music, Marcel Anderson Music, you can use your help at different shows, different events. Just share the information. I'm excited to talk about the new Better Days shirts. I'll be debuting them this weekend at my brother's festival. Coming hot off the press, so I have new shirts that are coming this weekend. If you're at the festival, I have them on, and you also can purchase them this weekend. I have a line of so many things that come out that I'm debuting between now and the release of my album. I won't talk about them all, but I will have them on my website. The shirts will be on my website after this weekend that you can purchase them. We only have a limited amount of t-shirts, so once they're gone, you can only get them at our shows, exclusively at my shows. So again, if you know me, I can connect with you, but you have to come to my shows to get some of my product. So we're excited about the Better Days t-shirt.
So awesome. So awesome. Well, congratulations again to Marcel, and thank you for joining us this evening. For those who would like to be on the show, who would like to have a promotion, an ad space, a live liner where I announce what you got going on, just reach out to us. The information is scrolling across the screen, info at coffeeandcollaborations.com. Follow any of our other shows on YouTube. You can follow us on Instagram to get updates, and then of course Facebook. And then if you're a LinkedIn lover, Kimberly H. Wimborne. But we would love to support you. We love supporting businesses. We love supporting community organizations as well. So if you have something coming up and you would like for us to share on our platform, once again, just reach out to us. If you'd like to be a guest on the podcast, reach out to us, and we would love to have you. So just a couple of announcements. Marcel, hang out with me for a second. Posture Prayer Retreat. So for those who are in the area, August 4th to the 6th, Friday night. I'm going to talk about Friday night in just a second, but this Posture Prayer Retreat is going to be powerful. We are going to be praying. I believe that business owners have to have a life of prayer. And so the Praying CEO is a group of women who we come together daily and pray. And we come together monthly and have events where we focus on business development and prayer. So we are growing professionally and personally. And so we have an array of women who are slated to speak at this event, who are experts in their area, but also spirit-filled women. So if you're in the area, I am hosting this event through the Praying CEO. And you could get more information by going to theprayingceo.com or just following me and following the links to be able to come. So each day is slated to do something different. There are individual tickets available for each night. Yes, great interview, Marcel, and congratulations. So wanted to share that event. Reach out to me if you're interested. We also have vendor and sponsor opportunities. This room is going to be filled with business women who are, like I said, spirit led. So if you're a person who has a business who would be complementary to professional women, right? Then you want to be there. Okay. And then lastly, I want to share this. I try to get Marcel's gonna be out of town because I know he would have been here. This is the Friday night event. He would have been here because I would have gone and picked him up if he tried to run for me. But this is the Friday night event, y'all, for that weekend. Marcel, wherever you are typing, I hear every single type. I hear every single type. So this is the Friday night event I'm gonna share now. And it's about hues of brown. So if you have your hue of brown, just imagine a room of beautiful people who are coming to connect, to collaborate, to build community, to find their tribe, right? So only 50 people can attend this Friday night signature exclusive dinner soiree. Tickets are already being sold. It's going to be a 4-course dinner with a surprise dessert display. We're going to be celebrating. My birthday is kind of on the back end of things because my birthday is August the 9th. But on the front end of things, what are we going to be celebrating? Community, connection, and collaboration. And you are invited. So of that posture prayer retreat weekend, this is the Friday night event. So I had to have a flyer made so everybody could see the vision. And this is a Hues, 50 Hues of Brown signature dinner soiree. It's going to be downtown Raleigh at the Metro Suite event venue. And so to register, you would just go to bit.ly, so bit.ly/Hues of Brown. For those who want to, who do not like to register for apps in order to do things, then I'm going to give you another link to use so you can bypass that. And that is bit.ly Hues of Brown 2. All right. So bit.ly Hues of Brown and the number 2. And that will make it so you can bypass having to download the Wix app. But many people do have the Wix app because many people do events. Then this is a fundraiser for the nonprofit. My nonprofit, my ministry, the Praying CEO, or the group, I'm sorry, the Praying CEO, the ministry group is under the nonprofit Beauty 180 Incorporated that supports disenfranchised women coming out of prison, women coming out of domestic violence situations, women coming out of homelessness scenarios or wishing to do so. What we do is support them through the process, through the journey to overcome those things. And so events are fundraisers that help us to raise money to be able to do that, to pour back into community. So whether it's our nonprofit, we also support other nonprofits who do the same thing that we do. So we do collaborate in partnership with others that can support. So thank you all this evening. If you would like to join us, bit.ly/50 Hues of Brown. All right. So that is our time. Follow us once again every Tuesday. Coffee and Collaborations. We'll have another show. Our guest, Marcel Anderson, was amazing, right? We thank you all so much for your patience when we fell off. So that did extend the time just a little bit, but we are signing off now. Thanks once again. We appreciate you.
This has been a Coffee and Collaborations media production.